540 WAUK, Milwaukee's real news and great conversation. And now on your FM dial at 100.3. Here's your Daily News Roundup.
With local news on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM, I'm Stuart J. Waddles. Opening statements are today in a federal criminal trial against a Milwaukee County judge. Judge Hannah Dugan is accused of helping an undocumented immigrant slip away from immigration officers after a hearing in her courtroom last April. Prosecutors say surveillance video shows her speaking with federal agents and just after, a man exiting through the side door typically reserved for jurors. A 14-person jury, including 2 alternates, was selected and sworn in Thursday. 1 person was hurt and several people are without homes after an apartment fire last night near 105th and Lancaster in Milwaukee. Fire crews got there at around 4 in the afternoon and battled flames in freezing conditions. Water was turning to ice and equipment had to be checked constantly. Firefighters spent about 3 hours making sure no hot spots were left. The cause is still under investigation. It's all news all morning from 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM. The head of the Federal Transit Administration is calling out Milwaukee's transit system for what he calls widespread fare evasion. Administrator Mark Molinaro says riders skipping fares are costing taxpayers millions and hurting trust in public transit. He's ordering Milwaukee transit officials to submit reports by next week outlining their safety plans and how they're spending security funds. The federal government says they want more accountability and safer rides for passengers. A dairy farm in Dodge County is where the bird flu has developed. For the first time, Wisconsin has found a case of avian influenza bird flu in dairy cattle. The herd is in Dodge County, and state ag officials have quarantined the farm. Experts say the commercial milk supply is safe because the pasteurization process destroys viruses. The CDC says the risk to humans is very low, but that farmers are urged to watch for sick animals and report any signs quickly. Milwaukee's skyline is getting a Hanukkah glow. The Hone Bridge lights up in blue and white for the holiday. The bridge display is part of a week-long celebration with the Milwaukee Jewish Federation. Nightly menorah lightings are scheduled through Sunday at the annual display on East Silver Spring in Whitefish Bay. Organizers say it's all a public way to celebrate Jewish life and that they're inviting all residents to stand together against darkness and division. And that's the local update. It's all news all morning, 6 to 9 on 540 WAUK on 100.3 FM. News anytime at WAUKradio.com. I'm Stuart J. Waddles.
The Packers get beat by the Broncos. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. Green Bay was up 23-14 in the third quarter, but the Denver Broncos came roaring back to win 34-26, their 11th victory in a row. The Packers making key mistakes on offense. I talked to wide receiver Jaden Reed.
I hold myself accountable because late in the game, in a critical moment, I ran the wrong route. So I take the blame for that, and I do think, that's the reason why we're in this position. I hold myself accountable. I'm very critical of myself. We just all got to be on point to give ourselves the best chance.
On defense, Micah Parsons suffering a season-ending torn ACL. NBA, the Bucks got bounced in Brooklyn, 127-82. Doc Rivers.
We gave up 30 points in turnovers. The basketball guys decided you can't make any open shots now. You don't deserve it. So that was disappointing. Probably one of the more disappointing games I've ever been involved in.
That's Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
Partly to mostly cloudy today with a high in the mid-20s this afternoon. The wind will be out of the southwest at 5 to 15. Partly cloudy tonight will drop down to around 12. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high in the mid to upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Outside now, it is 7.
That's your Milwaukee News Roundup from WAUK. Find more news anytime at WAUKradio.com/news. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.